one of the supporters from Universal Ostrich Farms, and she just wanted to do a little deposition with her experience, perhaps some trauma that she experienced with everything she's witnessed and gone through. How have you been coping?
I've been coping all right. I do not trust the RCMP, CFIA, this government.
Yep. Carry on.
I'm not happy with the way things have gone down with this. We were stuck out onto the highway without notice. We're forced to listen to gunshot after gunshot. I'm an animal advocate. That was one of the hardest things, but to come back the next morning and then listen to gunshots again was unreal for me. So leaving this place, I had to leave because I was afraid I was going to start something, and I had police trying to piss me off more on the way out, just to get me riled up more so I would go after them. I thank this place and thank that I was able to bring myself down and get through this, but I think I will never get over this ever in my life. Thank you, CFIA. Thank you, Canadian government.
So you were one of the witnesses who heard the shots in the morning.
In the morning,
What
yes.
time was that at?
I got back in here, it was about 6:30, 7 o'clock. I was just in my tent and I heard the gunshots going off. It was about 8:30, 8:45, somewhere in there, or 9 o'clock.
How many shots do you think there was in the morning?
I'd say another 20, 25
No
shots.
way, I have not heard that yet. That's absolutely heartbreaking. So that would obviously be because some of the birds were still bleeding,
alive,
crying in pain, breathing, lying in pain, and they had to come finish them off in the morning, and this is supposed to be a humane kill. So what I read was the gunshots is supposed to be the last resort. So why do you think they use gun like a firing squad in the way that they did?
I don't know. I don't know if they were just shooting birds that were still twitching, but I believe the ones that were still up and looking around, they sliced their necks, they sliced their heads off. I believe that.
Yeah,
and then they were out walking around the fields again, looking for something. I don't know what they were looking for after this. While they were shooting, they were out in the fields walking around.
In the morning?
In the morning.
Yeah, so I've heard, so this is disturbing. I've heard, I remember the morning after, the morning that you're talking about, and the phone, people were phoning Katie, said, Katie, are there still some alive? Because I guess people from the highway or from wherever could see they had their heads up. So they were laying there wounded.
Around,
they were laying there wounded, but they had their heads up, and they were, like you said, looking around, looking for their family, witnessing as to what had just happened. All their friends, all their guards, as I call them. Scotty was my favorite. He's a big guy, and there's a handful of them, but they were the guards. They would walk around and protect their flock. Just heartbreaking. So they had their heads up in the morning, and you figure about 20 shots. So in general, just the actual method of the slaughter using the gunfire. What do you think their reason? What do you think it was? To be sadistic or speed, or what do you think their reason was for choosing?
There was nothing speedy about that. I think it would have been faster for them to put something over their head, and one shot to the head, they'd have been dead.
Yeah.
I believe this was to punish us. It goes down the same as the killing in the States. Kirk, what was his name?
What were they killing?
The guy that got shot in the neck. They wanted bloodshed. They wanted to make it as traumatic. Charlie Kirk.
Right.
Wanted it as traumatic as possible, and it was so traumatic. It was.
So how long were you? So you were up on the highway when the RCMP basically blockaded the road, separated you from your living space, and everyone that was on the highways from their tents or trailers.
Was told, and I said, I have medication I need to take tonight. And he said, well, too bad. The cop told me, well, too bad.
Did you get that cop's name and badge number?
No, I did not, and I am so sorry I didn't.
And how long did they leave you up on the highway that night?
They would have left us all night, but Katie had contacted some neighbors, and a neighbor came down and actually was going car to car to car to invite to go to her place to sleep for the night. I was my dog and I, after the slaughter at night, we went to the Edgewood, to the beach, to go for a walk. So I literally had leggings on, a sweatshirt, and a vest. That's all I had for the night.
So how long would they have left you had you not had this neighbor come out?
Well, until they opened the road.
And that was quite some time.
Yeah, I don't know what, because I did go to the neighbors. And at 2:33 in the morning, we had drones, and she lives like 5 miles up the road or whatever, and we had drones above us. It was like they were looking to see where the supporters had gone.
So rather than any victim services or grief counselors to help you deal with this traumatic event, they were basically harassing you with drones and leaving you stranded on a highway in the cold in the middle of the night.
Raining, yeah, with traffic flying by.
And there was, I mean, I know the answer, but there was no support or any type of compassion, anything for any of these supporters who were there, you know. So essentially they took the supporters away that were there to offer offer support to the family and to each other, you know, while dealing with this absolutely horrific traumatic event of hearing the gunfire, hearing the ostrich trampling each other, making, you know, they don't make a lot of noise, but they do make some noise as they're, you know, getting shot and suffering and clawing each other. We've seen in videos that there's clearly marks on their bodies that are from them stampeding one another from fear. Because as we know, they're powerful animals. They run 70 miles per hour. And is there anything else that stands out from that evening? And then I'll ask you about just your time here in general before that. From that evening leading up to it, was there warning? Did you guys know it was coming? So the stay was...
No, we knew something was going to go down, had to go down in that day, because I thought they were going to do it one at a time, is what I really thought, is just one bullet to the head with a sock over their heads or whatever. I thought they would do it more humanely, but I think that was just punishment for us. Yeah. And I've been here since June, so the entire... They got here on the 23rd of September. From that day on, they were barely feeding those animals. I watched them deteriorate, get weaker and weaker. I came back the day that Katie and her mom were arrested, and I stayed here till the day after, and I watched those birds get skinnier and skinnier.
Did they look perhaps like they may have been, you know, wobbly? Because there's been some people suspecting that they were drugged. Where
there was way more limping. But then the day before, I went up to the highway and videoed, the CFIA with their clubs smacking these animals. They were so abusive out there. I've got a whole bunch on video from that too.
Yeah, I think I've actually seen some that they're limping and some of them can't get up.
Yeah,
and there was no.
They would knock them right down on the ground. They were knocking them, the males, right down on the ground to teach them to behave or something. These CFIA are not even human, I don't think. Yeah. No human could do that to an animal.
Yeah, they don't. They pick these people because of their characteristics for sure. And so, speaking of animal abuse, you were here during the whole Spirit when she was basically, I guess the first time she got injured was from the helicopters, or re-injured from the helicopters, and then again from the drones.
Drones, yeah.
And then
just left to die. Yeah, moved her out of so we couldn't witness it, and just left her there.
Yeah, so I think the first thing they did was they released the hurt and injured and weaker birds, ostrich, that were separated, obviously for obvious reasons. You don't have them with the more powerful. So the first thing they did is release them and mix them all. And then, so when Spirit became, you know, to the point where she wasn't drinking, and they basically let her die, slowly.
Yeah.
And did you ever see any, I know they let Dave in there for about 5 minutes. He had a 5-minute timer. And other than Dave, did you see any help go to that Spirit?
Never. No. They would walk by. I didn't see anybody stop and do anything with her.
Yeah.
And she was like right behind. We could watch. Couldn't see her, but you could see the poo pile they laid her at.
Yeah.
And then there was one male that hung around her quite a bit. That was also shooshed away. They also tried to get him away too.
Okay.
And he was just there trying to save her.
Okay, well, thank you for that. And is there anything else you wanted to add from like your time you spent here, or anything from before this traumatic event happened?
I love the energy at this farm. I stay down at the river most of the time. All the people, they're all amazing. I love this family. They are genuine farmers. I love them.
Awesome.
And David, all of them. Everybody I've met here has just been amazing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very